So still, after 2 weeks at the Belmond Samanna,
Right.
on the beautiful island of Saint Martin, I obviously have a question that all general managers have. How was your stay?
The stay it can simply be described as extremely memorable. Everything that I wanted it to be. You know, I was working at the beginning of this year. I worked in Australia for 5 months, and I spent a great deal of time away from my family, from my kids. So the objective was to come to a place that was peaceful, that was accommodating, and above all, a place that allowed us to be together as a family for these precious 2 weeks. And you know, I never, previous to this, I'd been to St. Martin once before, but this is the first time staying at this incredible resort, and I couldn't have hoped for anything better. It basically exceeded my expectations. Everyone from, of course, yourself was extremely gracious, but the staff was so accommodating, so efficient, so respectful, and they just made it a pleasure to be around. You know, even there was I was here with my 4 children, and I always think it's important when you visit a country to try and absorb as much as the culture as possible, and St. Martin is no exception. I actually asked, there's a wonderful woman who was looking after our house, this villa that we were staying in, this incredible setting. Her name was Pearl, and I asked, I'd heard that she had some children. She had at least, I think she has 2 children, but one of them was around the age of my youngest daughter. And I asked her if she would bring her daughter to come and spend some time with us, and she did. She accommodated, you know. So, and it was great. And you know, that sounds like a small thing, but those, you know, when you are somebody in my position, it's you know, there's an old saying, God is in the details. And I always feel that there are 2 ways a person can do their job. Either they can do their job just efficiently, or they can do their job efficiently but with love, with heart. And I have to say that small gesture on Pearl's part was something that made all the difference.
That's very kind of you, thank you. And just because you're talking about the staff and mentioning the staff, who obviously make Belmond Samanna what it is, I do have a small, they knew I was going to say goodbye to you, and I do have a message that I promised I'd pass on to you, and so we actually have it now on tape, so the proof for the Belmond Samanna staff, here you go. This is the message. They said, please tell him he is amongst the finest and nicest guests that the hotel has ever had in 45 years. And that sincerely comes from, I think, more than 50% of the staff. They've all told me, please say thank you. It was such a pleasure having us. Absolutely. And that is the first time that the staff actually says that to me, to ask a guest or to tell a guest.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So there you have it. So
well, that makes me really happy. And as you know, and it's absolutely true what you say. You know, as somebody who spends their lives in hotels.
Of course.
You know, and some obviously some very great hotels, but to me, you know, not meaning to sound ungrateful or anything, but to me, the hotels are all the same. To me, they all amount to the same thing. To me, they're not my home, right?
Of course.
Okay, and so what to me then? What distinguishes or what makes a great hotel is the experience that you have there.
Absolutely.
And the staff are a major part of that. You know, you can stay in the most luxurious surroundings and have a staff that's not necessarily personable or not really that accommodating, and your experience, your stay there will be soulless. However, that was absolutely not the case with the Hotel La Samanna. It was, again, it's needless to say that the surroundings are absolutely beautiful. Of course, I couldn't ask for a more beautiful setting. I couldn't have asked for that. But again, you know, it would just be another hotel if it were not for all of the people that make up the experience of staying here. And I have to say, everyone was just so accommodating, and you never had to ask twice for anything. Everyone from Stefan's to Pearl, as I mentioned, to yourself, I felt that everybody here anticipated what I wanted or what my family wanted, and so nothing was ever. And I made one or two, not extreme requests, but for example, the internet. I asked for a special request with the internet, and it was done just like that. It wasn't something that they normally did or that you normally did for guests, but for me, I was just looked after. And God is in the details, it's those small things that make the experience of being here wonderful. And the only sad part of it is that I'm actually leaving today. The kids left yesterday, but I'm leaving today, and I would love to stay more, but unfortunately work beckons.
That's very kind of you. I'll let you on your way. Just before that, I do have one last question for you. And before that last question, I have a small anecdote just to let you know. A long time ago, many years back, you did a duo with a famous French singer called Mylène Farmer, and who actually is a regular of this hotel. So it used to be anyway. She hasn't been for a while, but yes, just for the anecdote.
It doesn't come as a surprise.
And the question is actually, I was wondering, and St. Martin is an upcoming island in the Caribbean. They actually say, all the experts, that St. Martin might become the future Ibiza of the Caribbean. And they've already started 2 years ago with what we call the SXM, St. Martin Music Festival. And it started off very small, and this year, for the second time, it quadrupled actually. It was an absolutely fantastic, it was tens of thousands of people flying in for it. And it's obviously going to be every year. So the question is, when a concert of Seal for St. Martin? Wouldn't that be fantastic?
I would love to play. I mean, that's like a double-edged sword.
Well, it's just a wish and a question at the same time.
It's a double-edged sword for me, because it would be a double, because of course I'm happy for St. Martin that you have a thriving festival and especially a music festival. But at the same time, the reason that I love this place, the reason I've fallen in love with this place, and of course this experience at Hotel La Samanna, is because it is the opposite of work.
Of course,
basically I came here 2 weeks ago to decompress, and it's not easy it's not easy to do that, but within 2 days of being here, I felt completely relaxed. And so, yes, I'm happy that you're having a festival, and of course, I would, I would love to play at that festival, if only to show my appreciation.
It was just a wishful question. A personal wishful.
I would love to play at that festival, if only to show my appreciation to the people here.
We can talk about your next one.
I wouldn't, I wouldn't want to do it for work, but I would love to. You know what? I take that back. I would actually love to do a concert here, just for the people, as a small token of my appreciation, because I don't think the staff will ever realize what they did for me in these 2 weeks of being here. I don't think they'll realize how much we value that. And I spoke to my children this morning on FaceTime, and they had just actually jumped over. They're in St. Bart's at the moment, and they were wishing that they were back here.
That's nice.
They said they miss. They asked me to show them the villa on FaceTime, and they left a puzzle on the table there, and they asked me to show them the villa because they missed being here. So it's
well, those are lovely words. Anyway, I'm not going to hold you back. I know you have a flight to catch.
Thank you very much.
And thank you once again. It was an absolute pleasure. On behalf of all the Belmond La Samanna staff, I really must say it again. Thank you for having been our guest, because it was absolutely fantastic having you. And a great honor.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And thank you for making it so delightful.
Excellent.
It really was special.
Good. Have a safe trip.